Hello, everyone. It's Sonia McDonald here. This is take two. I jumped on to do a live and then I got something in my eye, so I had to jump off. So I had to make a courageous decision to go, not being the best I can be in this live. But today I want to kind of end the week, end the Friday being truly courageous and to inspire and coach as many of you as I can around why we need to see more courage and why we need to be the courage that we want to see, right? And with so much going on around the world and so much out of our control and our influence, the things that we can control and influence are us, right? And today I've been sitting at home spending most of the day coaching and designing workshops and thinking about what's going on around Australia with the elections coming up and around the world when it comes to leadership and courage. And as you know, we're on this mission to build a world of great leaders, of courageous, kind, and inclusive leaders. And I know that we can control that. And I sit here, right? I'm sitting here and it's 3:30 Australian time. I'm in Brisbane and Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I'm sitting here listening to, I love it. I love listening to the school bell. I live near this great school, and I love hearing the school bell because for me, it's like thinking about those incredible future leaders at school, right? This is why we're so passionate about leadership and courage, because I know for us, we want to build, especially for our emerging leaders, we want to instill in them the importance of leadership, courage, kindness, right? And it is up to us. It's up to all of us to instill that. And it does start with us. So, and I'm also really excited about the fact that we have just launched, you're the first to know if you are watching this live, our Courage Conference new site and landing page. It is amazing. Tickets are selling super fast for that. So make sure that you jump on, grab your ticket. It's under $200 and you get to listen to some of the most remarkable leaders, people around the globe. There's a digital show bag, there's networking. But I'm really going to be focusing on courage. And obviously I've written a book around courage and I'm really passionate about this space because it does start with us and it does start with leadership. And remember, leadership isn't a role or title. It's an action, it's an attitude, it's a mindset. And part of being courageous is really looking at yourself. And if there's one thing I would say to myself, if I had a time machine, if I could go back to school, go back to my younger self, is I would say start learning leadership now, start becoming more self-aware, and also be more courageous because life goes past so quickly and it's so important that we are truly courageous in our lives. So I want to start with self because if we want to be the change we want to see, I think we're braver and more courageous than we give ourselves credit for. If you're actually watching this, grab a notepad or a pen, like grab a notepad, piece of paper and a pen, and start to write down like self, like how you can be a bit more self-aware, how you can be more authentic and own that. Write down like to be courageous is to know your values. So know your personal values and stay aligned to them, stay congruent with them, and make sure you're out there being courageous, aligned to your values. And also, like, I think things like visualization are really important for courage. Like visualize like who you want to be, what you want to stand for. Affirmations are really important. Self-development is really important when it comes to courage. These are some really, journaling is great for courage. Putting yourself out there and saying yes and taking risks and saying yes to opportunities is about courage. Having conviction and standing up for what you believe in takes courage. These things are really important, and these are the things that we need to see in our leaders today. We need to see leaders that, you know, want to stand up for something and want to stand for something and that own who they are, right? Also, I think what really helps around how we can be the courage we want to see is thinking about how we can make a difference and how we can make an impact. Our purpose. Sit down and like write this down write down self, think about those things around self I just talked about, around values, visualization, affirmations, you know, think about who you are and what you want to stand for, right? Next, write down purpose. It's all written in this book. Okay. Next, write down purpose. Why you do what you do. Why do you do what you do? It really helps you kind of keep moving forward, keep that focus. Um, I think that why taps in the it absolutely taps in the emotional center of your brain. It helps you kind of like when you stuff up, you pick yourself up because you go, you know what, I'm staying focused to my, you're staying focused, like you keep moving forward, right? Next is absolutely impact how you can make a difference. Think about the legacy, think about the end in mind, right? How you can leave a legacy. So I think that's super important. Leadership is also about others, how you can make a difference to others. We're connection machines, right? We're connection machines. So when we're connecting with others, that's triggering our biology to really instill courage and hope within ourselves and others. So really connect with others and connect with your heart and connect with courage. Okay. So important. Next is resilience. Obviously, I love talking about resilience. I love talking about your mindset. Like attention goes, energy flows. So, and look at opportunities as learnings, look at failings as learnings. It's so important that you always kind of just say yes and just take risk. It doesn't matter if you fail or stuff up because at least you're out there and you gave it a go, right? And I think that's really important that this is a muscle. Resilience is a muscle. And I don't know, the amount of times I sit down with people and we're working with them and coaching them around resilience, and I go, what are you focusing on? Okay. And I really kind of say to them, right, how are you seeing this situation? Like, oh, I stuffed up, I'm not worthy and I'm hopeless. And I go, hey, look at your language, look at how you're talking to yourself. Let's reframe this. When you change the frame, you change the game, right? So important. I'm so passionate about mindset and resilience and perseverance and grit, right? Because life, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that's what I want to instill in everyone around courage, is that we are braver and more courageous than we give ourselves credit for. Last but not least, is obviously something I'm very passionate about, and we're very passionate about at Leadership HQ as well, is absolutely kindness. People see kindness as maybe a little bit of a weakness. Definitely before COVID, when we're out there launching and our work, particularly around our awards, right? We're out there going, we've got these incredible leadership awards, and we're about championing kind, courageous, and inclusive leaders because we believe that kindness and empathy and compassion are the keys. It's kind of like like leadership is about others, it's about people. And so many people would look at us and go, really, kindness, leadership, and go, am I missing something here? And then throughout COVID, people started going, I really get what you're trying to champion. And I said, well, the awards, even though all our leadership work and coaching is focused on so many different elements of leadership around leading self and people and culture, the awards were about having role models to give us hope of courage and kindness that we need. Our future generations and emerging leaders need to see that, but it starts with us, right? The thing is, when we have kindness, and the research, is so much research around this, like Harvard, Oxford, Gallup, there's so much research. If you Google ROI of kindness in leadership and cultures and organizations, I've written several blogs and articles around this. There is an absolute ROI, return on investment. Not that you should look at kindness as a return on investment, it should be just instilled in us. Is that you create more connection, more trust. You're also, like, when I think of kindness, like you're really connecting, like and genuine kindness shows that you care. People, you will see within your organizations that it'll make such a difference to their engagement and motivation and productivity when you show kindness. And I'm not saying that, when you have to have these courageous conversations with people and you need to set boundaries and you need to have the courage to call out behaviors, that you can still be kind. Brené Brown talks about, if you're unclear, you're unkind. When you are clear, you're kind. You can still be strong as a leader and still be kind, right? You can still be courageous as a leader and as a person and still stuff up. Okay. But the thing is, I don't know, I don't want to get to, I'm sure, and I don't want anyone to get to the end of their life and look back and not look at the fact that they didn't live a life that was authentic, and they didn't really love and own who they were, and they really knew who you are and what you stood for, right? You had that purpose. And I know that's a huge question, but no matter what you care about, what gives you that drive and motivation, purpose is everything. That you're making a difference to other, because that's leadership. You're making an impact, and you are stronger and braver than we think. You can build this resilience muscle, right? It's so important. I live and breathe this space, right? I love it. And the kinder you are to yourself, the kinder you are to others. And it's so important that you are doing that, right? I don't know. I was asked a question during the week, and it was a really challenging question. Well, I was actually asked two questions in this workshop. It was this public workshop, and a lot of the people in the workshop were younger than me, or younger, like our future generations. And obviously, they were kind of like, a lot of them were new to this leadership space. They were like looking at me and like with this massive and amazing growth mindsets, which I love, going, "Hey, wow, like." You've just opened up this kind of door to leadership for me that I hadn't even encountered. I didn't learn this at school or university. And I was like, learn it now, whatever age. You can learn it at any age, right? Not just back then. You can learn it today. And I've just turned a big 50, right? And you can learn it at any age, any generation, right? And they said, what's the number one thing you would say that has made, in terms of leadership? And there's so many different things that I would say around leadership that because I think we've made leadership bigger than what it is. I think we have made it about rank or role, but it isn't. It's an attitude, it's a choice, it's an action, right? And there's so many different insights and guidance that I'd give so many people around the work we do, and these sort of platforms where I'm out there advocating for great leadership and helping as many of you be great leaders. Is they said, like, what's our number one thing, right? And I said, kindness. So if you could be kinder to yourself and more courageous, if you could be kinder to yourself, and you'll be much kinder to others, and that'll be a ripple effect. Courage and kindness are completely contagious. I can tell you right now, completely and utterly contagious. And let's be that ripple effect, right? And then the next question, which was, wow, I had to take a deep breath, was around, why are we seeing this kindness and courage, and in our leadership? Why aren't we in our politicians, in our politics? And hey, that is a huge question. And we've got the election tomorrow happening here, the federal election happening here in Australia tomorrow. And that was a huge question for me to ask. And I definitely have some views on that. And I stood there and I said, look, absolutely, in terms of that circle of control and circle of influence, we would love to be able to influence the political landscape that we're seeing here in Australia when it comes to building greater leaders and instilling the importance of kindness and self-awareness and courage and impact and in our politics. But the thing is, right, our change and influence is the only thing we can control and change, and is us. And if we can lead by example, if we can be out there being kind and courageous and inclusive, and thinking about what makes a great leader and how can I be that great leader, right? Is, what? You can do anything you put your mind to. And it starts with us, and it starts with absolutely that having that growth mindset. Have that growth mindset. Hey, I'm not plugging the book. I'm just talking about, I mentioned lots of great resources and books in here. There's so many great books I can recommend around how to build great leadership and how to build great kindness and courage. We're about to launch this Leadership in a Box. Go to the website, have a look, where you actually get sent every month, every 2 months, some great books. But I also wanted to, and resources, we're pretty excited about that. We haven't officially launched it. We're about to launch it soon, but it's on the side. But definitely check out the Courage Conference. I've deflected. Definitely check out the Courage Conference. We've got a new landing page. It's in the comments. Go to the outstandingleadershipawards.com.au website. You can see the Courage Conference there. I'm sure it's in the comments. I would love to know, how can you be the courage? How are you going to be the courage we want to see? If you can post a comment, or even if you want to email us at hello@leadershiphq.com.au, we'll send you something to say thank you and to say, if you can put this, what I've talked about, think about what I've said today and put it into action. Action breeds confidence, action drives change. If you sign up to the Courage Conference, please, it's only, I think, like $197. The ticket fees go to HumanX. We're using HumanX, this great event platform, and part of the ticket fees, go to Indigenous youth, their education. We're really passionate about Indigenous youth. We're passionate about all youth, but in particular Indigenous youth, and giving them opportunities. So make sure you get involved with the Courage Conference. It's recorded as well, so you can watch it at a later date, but also you can dip in and out of the conference as well. It's Friday afternoon. I'm pretty tired. I think we're all pretty tired. But if there's something that you got from today, even one thing that you've taken away from this live today, around what I've spoken about, how to build a courageous mindset, can I tell you, it starts here. Absolutely starts here. And I can tell you all now, right? I don't know, whatever you need to have that courage, like, think about, what are those things that you want for yourself? What do you want to stand for? What are those goals? What are those dreams? What are those habits? How can you have courageous habits? How can you have a courageous focus? Because attention goes, energy flows, right? And start to visualize and have those affirmations aligned. Make sure they're aligned to your values. Get to know your values. Look, I know I've said a lot on this live today, and think about that self-awareness. Think about your purpose, your impact, your kindness, and your resilience. If there's one thing you've taken away today, please put it in the comments. We'll keep an eye out around what you're commenting. Share the live, share the Courage Conference, tag us. Again, if you help us get this Courage Conference and message out to the world, we'll absolutely be in touch. And if you do share this live and or the Courage Conference, I will actually post you a copy of my book, and just to say thank you, if you're willing to share it. And because we want to build a world of really kind and courageous people, and it absolutely starts with us, right? And let's be the courage and that change that we want to see. Okay, so thank you for listening to my live today, and please stay safe, and please stay kind and courageous always, and reach out to the team at Leadership HQ, because we are huge connection and knowledge sharers, and we love to inspire and spread our wisdom, and we would love to help you be the best you can be, so you can leave that legacy of courage. Thank you.